James, second row center, please.
I don't make an opening statement?
James, you may make an opening statement.
All right, so my mom always told me, she was like, be humble, all right? And I want to respond to that with, Mom, cut off the YouTube because I'm about to go in. I'm about to go in. Oh, my gosh, I live for this day. Go ahead, I got
Coach,
you.
congratulations, first and foremost. Can you just speak to the resiliency of this team, especially in the second half of this game, making that run and doing what was necessary to get the victory?
We stayed together. It was, I guess it was a microcosm of our season where you go down, and you keep pushing. All right. Crowd was quiet, but they were in it, and they were trying to give us energy. And every little thing we did, they gave us more energy. And we fed off of it, but we stayed together. And by the end of it, once we made one basket, two basket, the crowd took over. Our players stayed together, and they kept going, and you started to see who we were. It was a great moment because I never doubted for a minute that we were going to win that game. It was all a matter of when will we take the lead. And once we got the lead, I knew we would be fine.
James, third row to your right.
James, when I interviewed you when you first started with the Sky 3 years ago, you told me about how you needed to get everybody to believe in the system.
Yeah.
3 years later, how has getting them to believe in the system gotten you here?
That's a great question. Just me knowing what this team had, believing in every single person and knowing who our staff was and what they had and to bring and just knowing the game and being around winners all my life.
All right, we've got 4 questions lined up from the room. We're going to start second row left.
Hey, James. Jackie Powell with Bleacher Report. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you could take me through that fourth quarter, especially when Azare fouled out. What did you make of how your other posts stepped up and responded?
She didn't foul out.
Or when you took her out?
When I took her out. I took her out. She had 5 fouls. And, Steph, we said it from the Connecticut series. I told Steph that you're going to be big for us in this next series. Mm-hmm. So I need you to stay ready. And she was ready. And she gave us some good, valuable minutes. And she leaned on BG a lot throughout the game. And so BG didn't have the same legs in the fourth quarter as she did in the first 3 quarters. And I don't know that participated to her missing shots, but it definitely helped us out that she was an extra body that made it hard for her to get around, and her catches were a little more difficult. So, they have a great team over there, so we just want to make it as difficult as possible and just keep on, pushing, and not look for home run plays, and I think that's what we did.
James, front row to your right.
Annie Constable, Chicago Sun-Times. James, Courtney is the longest tenured player with the Sky. She was drafted here in 2011, and this is a moment she's been fighting for her entire career. She said she wanted to win a championship with the team that drafted her.
Right.
To share this moment with her, given all of your guys' experiences overseas, here in Chicago, what is this moment for the both of you?
It's a special moment. The embrace that we had, because when the first time I met with Sloop, when getting the job, we met in a cafe, and I was like, we're gonna get a championship. Like, don't worry, we're gonna get a championship. And so we went into detail of how we're gonna do it, and I was just trying to get her to believe. I didn't know how we were gonna do it, but I was just trying to get her to believe, and I knew that was the first step. But if it's one thing I've learned in my life, living in this body for 46 years, I'll never count me out. And I will not be outworked. So if it was somebody that can do it, I felt like I was going to put us in the situation to do it. So, but honestly, I didn't know we were going to win it when we were going to win it, but we were going to win one. So, voila.
James, center, third
course.
row.
Do you recall times just being in this arena and looking in the crowd and not seeing too many people and thinking, just even envisioning a time like this?
Well, since I got here, I think after the first 3 games, we used to have okay crowd. Nothing like this, but I think it was more so in Rosemont, and we had a pretty good record in 2019, and so I think in the second half of the season we started having more fans. And this year, of course, we started off with COVID restrictions, so it wasn't a lot of people. And as the time came, we started, getting more and more fans. But the playoffs is nothing I've ever seen, and this has been amazing. And you can tell Chicago that they're behind us 100%, and you felt the energy, you actually feel the energy. And now, this is how you make household names in your city. People are going to go around. They're going to know who Sloot is. They're going to know who Kai is. And, they already know who Candace is. But it's so many stories out there on the floor that are unique and, that represent Chicago and what they mean to the city and what the city means to them. And so I just want those stories to be told. But winning a championship helps those stories to be told.
Guys, we have about time for about 3 more questions from the room, and then we need to get to some folks on Zoom. James, center in row 4.
Hey, Coach. Going back to the game real fast, Allie Quigley just came alive in the second half. It wasn't even just the shooting. It's like what you've talked about before about the gravity of her pulling defenders off and freeing up someone like Steph in the last minute of the game. Can you just speak to the importance of Allie coming alive after she kind of struggled in the first couple of games of the series?
Well, the odds are in our favor. For every off-shooting game that she has, the next game is potentially going to be an explosive game. You never see a shooter like that stay cold. And the fact that we were winning games while she was cold, it made me feel good. So we don't have to mess with her or tell her anything. She's a perfectionist, so she's going to correct herself and she's going to keep on working. And it was a special moment to have her do it here in DePaul's shared space, and surreal.
James, also the center, 4th row.
Coach Chris Pennant, I normally ask you about an X's and O's type question, but
I know we won tonight. You know that, right?
I do.
Wasn't a 6? Was it you said a 6-7 point game or something like that? Oh, that was the last game. Yeah, the game we won by 36. Go ahead.
Last year, I think you opened up about your life experience more than you had since we started covering the team in the context of the world at large. Can you put this into perspective, not as a coach, but as a black man from Memphis?
That's tough, man. Y'all try to make me cry a lot. Not gonna do it. Look, I had my family come, like I had my cousins, and I had a lot of Memphis people come to the game. I had one of my high school teammates who I haven't seen in 28 years, I guess, since high school, came to the game, and college teammates, and it's big to do something in this space and I'm just going to keep it real. I've always had to prove my intelligence, always. And so how do you do that? You do that through hard work. And they say, okay, he's a hard worker, but the hard work gets your intelligence in the room. So once you work hard, people start to listen to you. And I understand that. And I've understood that from an early age, that, I have to be different, or not just different, just be visible and represent good visibility instead of, what's the word, routine or what the visibility that they try to put on us, And so it's important. It's been important, and it's going to always be important. And it's not just for my son. It's for every young black kid that comes up behind me that you prejudge because they have their pants down or they have their hat on backwards, And you know what? And since I said that, why don't I put my hat on backwards and, and just represent that? you know. But never judge a book by its cover. I'm not perfect by no means, but I'm always trying to do the right thing, and it has nothing to do with my color. It has nothing to do with that at all, or has nothing to do with the fact that I say every 3 words, you know. It's just the way I am. And I know the game of basketball, and I know what it takes to be a champion, and here we are.
All right, we're going to turn to Zoom. We're going to try for about 4 or 5 questions if we can. If our Phoenix players arrive, we will just have James step down. We're going to start first with Chantel Jennings, and Chantel will be followed by Michelle.
Hey, James. It looked like Dan Hughes was seated kind of across from your guys' bench today. I'm just curious what it meant to you to have him here for this game specifically, and if you had a chance to talk to him after the game.
Yeah, we had a warm embrace. Dan was the first person who Dan was the first person that told me that I was going to be a great head coach, and I thought he was crazy as shit. I didn't believe him. Me and my wife laughed at the idea, and then my wife said, maybe he sees something in you that you don't see, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. So to have somebody, especially a middle-aged white man who doesn't look nothing like you, doesn't come from your experiences, to say, hey, look, I believe in you. I thought I was going to be an intern for him for 3 years, and he hired me as an assistant after the first year, and I have no idea why he did that. And like he's an amazing man, and I don't think he'll get enough credit. He changed my life. He absolutely changed my life, and I'm forever indebted to him. So it's not an accident that a lot of his assistants are great head coaches, because he's someone that's going to always open it up to, open up his wisdom to sharing and teaching you the right way. And so I appreciated he was here, and it's going to mean something for me. As much as my family was here, I needed him to be here today. All right, no more sympathetic questions, y'all.
Our next question, not a sympathetic one, will come from Michelle Smith. Michelle, you're going to be followed by Charles Hallman.
Thanks for that setup, Ron. Coach, congratulations. I want to ask you about faith for a minute. You talked about that conversation you had with Sloot where you said you wanted her to believe. You didn't know exactly how you were going to get it done, but you wanted her to believe. But Sloot and Allie have stayed here for a long time when other people left because they had some kind of faith. Candace seems like she came here because she had faith in your vision. You guys had your faith tested at a few points this season. Can you just address what it meant to sort of keep the faith with this team and all of the different ways that it meant that this year?
So now I can talk about how I grew up. I had no choice. I had no choice. You got to have faith or you die. You're born behind the 8 ball, and so you put that into all your experiences, and you show them how it's going to be done. So faith is a big key for me. Faith is something you can't see. You just got to believe it. It's something I can't explain. It's just in me, and you give it to them. And you sound crazy enough that they believe it. And when I got the job in 2018, I still remember saying that we were going to win a championship. No idea how. We were coming off a team that was 10th place and no playoffs, and you couldn't have told anybody after we finishing in 6th that we were going to be the champions. And we did it because we believed, and we probably did something that no other team has ever done. We just changed who we were because we wanted to change, and we decided to change, and here we are.
Next question will come from Charles Hallman.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yeah, what's up, Charles?
I'm done very much. Congratulations again. Please comment if you can. You are the first Black coach to win a WNBA title on one team as an assistant, and you won, obviously, today as a head coach. And you've been talking about significance, so that is also significant. If you could speak on that, please.
I'm not the first. I mean, Corey Gaines did it.
But on the same team, you've been on two different teams.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you. I just want to give a shout out to Corey, but I don't know. Cheryl, she gave me like the blueprint to winning, and I kind of just stole her cheat code. That's all, and that's it.